try to frustrate me. I'm holding on to his promises, 'cause this was meant to be. He loved me in my wrong, in sin and misery. I could have been cut off, but you still held me. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. Promises, promises. It's in my hand. This was meant.
Good afternoon, and welcome again to Healing Stream Waters Daily Dosage. I pray all is well with you, with yours, your health. He said, I wish above all that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your soul shall prosper. Thanking God for his word today, because his word is life and his word is spirit. I want to be reading in your hearing the 12th chapter of Acts, starting at the 5th verse through the 17th, and it read as such. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came unto him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord. And they went out and passed on through the street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from the expectation of the people of the Jews. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. And they said unto her, Thou art mad. But she constantly affirmed that it was even so. Then they said, It is his angel. But Peter continued knocking. And when they had opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. But he beckoning unto them with his hand to hold their peace, declared unto them how the Lord had brought him out of prison. And he said, Go, shew these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went into another place. And the verse that I want to focus on today, it was, and as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken, named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. And so I want to ask you today, do you know or do you recognize an answered prayer? We often say God is a prayer hearer and an answering God, and that He is. I'm quite sure that He has answered many of your prayers. But have you ever been in a situation that while you was praying, because the word does say it will come a time that while you praying, He answers. 11th chapter of Hebrews says, we that come to God must first believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of diligently seek Him. Why would you pray and not expect? Or a lot of time we have our own expectations of how God is going to answer. We just pray that God answer our prayer. To somebody say we don't know how He's going to do it. We don't know when He's going to do it. The only thing we know is that He's going to make a way for us. So tell the Lord to do it. The saints were gathered. They were gathered praying for Peter. The angel of the Lord went to Peter while he was bound between soldiers and tapped him and told him arise. So it doesn't matter what has you bound, because he was bound in chains. And plus he had men with him that was keeping him. Do you know that God can go through walls? He can go through doors. He can go through, there is no boundary in God. You can't bind God. If God needs to get to you, if God needs to answer your prayer, He can do the impossible. That's what the impossible is. He had no boundaries, no limits. But Peter thought that it was a dream. How many of you have dreams or visions? You think things ain't real, but it said Peter came to himself and he realized, oh, this ain't just happening. This ain't a dream. This ain't a vision. I ain't wishing that I could get out of jail. He was actually released. He was actually freed. The angel took him to the street. He departed. Peter came to himself and he went where prayer was being held on his behalf. Thanks to God, prayer still works. Prayer can move God. Faith with your prayer is a mixture. God is still answering prayer. But do you recognize Rhoda came to the door after Peter knocked? But astonishment kept her from opening the door. What's hindering you from acknowledging and seeing your prayer answered? Were you expecting? Were you astonished that the prayer was answered? Were you amazed at how quick it was answered? Did you really believe that He will answer your prayer? Did you have expectation that your prayer will be answered? All that plays a part of how and when our prayer get answered. We that come to God must first believe that He is God and that He's a rewarder. That means your petition that you ask, your supplication, your prayers, you have to believe that, and God will do it because faith moves God. He said, Everyone that asks, they receive. You that seek, you shall find. And if you keep on knocking, the door will be open. Peter had had to keep knocking because they was on the other side of that door praying. And for Peter, God delivered Peter to the door and he still couldn't get in. What prayer are you praying? What desires that you are looking for? What expectations do you have? And it's standing at the door, it's standing in front of you, and you don't recognize. This is the answer to your prayer. A lot of times we pray, but we have our own way of how we think God going to do it or how we want him to do it. But God is sovereign. He does what he wants, how he wants, and when he wants. You can't put God in a box. They was praying for Peter. Peter standing there knocking at the door. Rhoda was astonished. The people said, "You are mad." The people say it ain't him, it's his angel. But when he kept on knocking, sometimes you got to keep on knocking. The answer is here, but keep on knocking. Sometimes the answer got to knock. Keep on coming after you for you to recognize I'm here for you. The angel told Daniel, I've come for your word. You prayed that prayer. You had that expectation. You put the petition up before God. I'm here for you. You still don't recognize it. Peter kept on knocking. Wake up, saints. I'm here. Wake up, saints. Here's the answer. I'm here to tell you what to do. Wake up. Wake up. Open the door. Don't pray and don't open the door. God wants to get in. Open up the door. Take them locks off. The boat that the night boat, that extreme security, you gotta loosen up. You gotta expect and prepare for God to answer you. Let him bring the answer to you, but open the door and let it come in. Be in a position of receiving, position of preparedness. Don't keep him out. I'm come for your words, as he told Daniel. I'm coming because of the prayer you prayed. I ain't mad. I'm right here. And so when they opened the door, he had to tell them, shh, let me tell you what happened. Shh, hold your peace and let me talk. Because your talking is, you wasn't expecting me to be here. You label her. You call her bad. You said it was a ghost. It wasn't a ghost. I am here. What God does, he does forever. He don't do things to get your hopes up high and then let you down. No, God's not that kind of a God. But it has to be God's way. I'm reminded of Naaman. Naaman needed a healing. He had leprosy. He sent for the prophet who had his answer. But Naaman wanted to do something else. He wanted to dip in some clean water. His instructions was go dip 7 times in the river. And it was a specific one. He didn't want to do that, but he wanted his healing. We have to, when we are petitioning God, don't come with preconceived thoughts. If you knew what to do, you would have done it. But God is the answer. The songwriters say Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him, there's no other, but Jesus is the way. And if you have some questions in the corners of your mind, traces of discouragement and peace you cannot find, reflections of your past seem to face you every day. But this one thing I do know, Jesus is the way. He is the answer, y'all. But do you recognize an answered prayer? He's coming because of your words. He's knocking. Let him in. Let him in. Don't let the answer keeps knocking. You praying, you steady praying, the answer is here. If you open up, open your ears, open your eyes, open your heart, he will come in and give you exactly what you need to obtain what you are petitioning for. Again, this is Healing Stream Waters Daily Dosage. Do you recognize an answered prayer? Go with God. He loves you. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it.